Hey, welcome back to the Confidad Podcast. My name is Dan Tinquist, your host, and I am so glad that you joined us. Let's begin today with our fatherhood mindset. Say it out loud with me. I'm the only one who can fulfill the father role I have, so I choose to do it well. I get to show up well for my kids. Imperfection is reality. Ownership is a choice. Today is brand new. So is tomorrow. I am wholly loved, so I will love wholly. In today's equipping section, I want to talk about the danger of leaking cash in your business. This is a parenting podcast. Why are you talking about business? We'll get there. Fred had a great business. He started it from the ground up, got a loan from his uncle, invested it, and started an auto body shop. At first, it started in his own garage until he got up enough clientele to move into his own building. He gets a small rundown old body shop he bought from someone, and he continues to do his work. He continues to invest and reinvest. He had this problem, though. Cash was always leaking out the back door. He kind of knew about it, but he figured, it can't really be that much cash. It can't really matter that much. I got to focus on growing the business. It's okay. As long as I just get enough revenue in, as long as I just have enough coming in, then the cash leak won't be a problem. So he continues to grow. He gets a couple of employees and brings his books to his accountant to do taxes. And his accountant looks at him and said, Fred, you got some cash leaking and you should really stop it. Fred's like, no, it's fine. Like I hear you and I hear what you're saying and thank you for the advice, but I think I'll do it my way. I'm good. Accountant says, all right, your business, your choice. Fred keeps going. He's a decade in. He's 2 decades in. He doesn't stop the cash leak. And really, it's not that big of a deal, right? It was just a little cash every now and then that would leak. And he gets to the end of his business career. And he looks back and he has his accountant look at his books. His accountant looks at him and says, Fred, I wish you would have listened to me at the beginning because that was like $2.5 million that just kept leaking. It kept going. And Fred's like, wow, it's a lot more costly than I thought it would be. You see, Fred never chose to dig deep into the cash leak, into the blind spots in his business, into the places where it wasn't a big deal. It was just little expenses here and there. But it added up to $2.5 million. And at that point, Fred really couldn't do anything about it. There was no way to just grab all the cash and shove it back in and fix a broken system. Here's the deal. This actually has nothing to do with Fred's business. And it's an analogy for parenting. You see, we'll take advice on business and sometimes apply it, sometimes not. But when it comes to parenting, we're like, don't tell me how to parent. Don't tell me how to be a dad. I know what I'm doing. They're my kids. And so there may be some blind spots that we're living with. There may be some things we're like, I'm going to figure it out on my own, just like Fred said about his business. And it isn't until it's too late. It isn't until he's at the end of his career that he's able to look back and reflect and say, I wish I would have done it differently. I wish I would have dug in to the cash leak. I wish I would have looked at the business expenses that were sucking cash out so that I could have avoided this. I have spoke to several people who have talked this exact way about raising their kids. They're in their 60s and 70s. They don't have great relationships with their kids. And they're always just like, what could I have done differently? I did the best with what I had. And the question is, what are you doing when the moments arise? Like Fred's accountant raising the alarm. Hey, Fred, you really should look into this. Hey, Fred, I really think it'd be a good idea if you dug into why this cash is just leaking out of your business. Maybe this is a moment when you're hearing, maybe you should look into those blind spots. Where not cash is leaking out, but trust is leaking out of your family system. When your kids no longer feel like they can trust you with the deepest, hardest questions of life. Instead, they're just going to their phones, going to their friends. What trust is leaking out of your family? And what are you going to do about it? You just going to avoid it? Say, it's fine. It's just a little bit of trust. It's just a little bit. It's just little bits here and there. It's no big deal. By the time you get to the point of launching your kids, it will be too late to fix the system. Repair can happen, sure. I always believe, and I always have hope that repair can happen. But repair is a lot easier when it's in little bits and little mistakes that you choose to repair all along the way. And you build in accountability in your family system that says, we own our mistakes. And we say that in the mindset every single time. Imperfection is reality. You'll never be a perfect dad. But what are you doing with your failures? What are you doing with the mistakes? What are you doing with owning where you're not perfect? Are you just letting the cash leak out the door? Are you just letting the trust leak out the door? Or are you doing something about it? Are you repairing when you get it wrong? Are you choosing to live with intention a little bit more? Marginal improvement day by day by day in your parenting, so that when you get to the end of your parenting career, air quotes, you don't have to be like Fred and go, ooh, man, I wish I would have addressed those things. I wish I would have known what my blind spots were, done more work to discover that. We all probably will get to a place in our lives where we have some type of regret in our parenting, likely unavoidable. But what are you doing right now when you're in the thick of it to uncover blind spots and remove as many regrets as you can from your future self? So may you be empowered today to take some action, to dig deep into the blind spots, to ask for help and advice and say, I think I'm getting it wrong, but I'm not really sure how. It'd be a phenomenal story if Confidad got to be a part of your story, about part of uncovering the blind spots that you have in your parenting so that you can stop the trust leaks and build a beautiful family system where your kids can flourish and grow into confident, healthy, interdependent adulthood. So don't be like Fred. Own your stuff, find your blind spots, do your work, and build a family culture that you can be proud of that will go on for generations. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode.